sometimes if you are lucky, maybe just once in a lifetime even, something comes along that changes your life for the better, so much so that you feel it's a duty, an honor, a privilege to share it with other people. And that's how I feel about Seraphim Blueprint.
Steve Carter here, your host for the Energy Healing for Wellbeing podcast. In addition, I'm also CEO for Stress Solutions, LLC. You'll find my company information at www.eft-md.com, eft-md.com. In this episode, you're going to discover and experience Seraphim Blueprint, a powerful angel-channeled energy healing method. Our featured presenter is Julia Forest-Payne. She is a gifted energy practitioner who has helped thousands of clients using an array of methods over many years. She is a Seraphim Blueprint teacher. She's a shaman, a Reiki Master, and so much more. This program was originally broadcast as a live webinar. I'll have the YouTube video version of this webinar linked in the podcast episode show notes. You're going to want to stay tuned through the entire episode to experience 2 Seraphim Blueprint energies and receive a special energy grid for your home as a gift. Even though you're listening to this presentation after it was broadcast, the way Seraphim Blueprint energy works, it allows you to also experience the same benefits as those who attended live. Julia loves to hear from everyone who wants to learn more about Seraphim Blueprint. You can reach Julia through her email address at juliapf, and that's JuliaPF, Paul Frank, juliapf@gmail.com. If you have not already subscribed or you're not yet following the Energy Healing for Wellbeing podcast, I encourage you to do that now. That way you will never miss an episode. Also, I'm extending a special invitation to you to join our Energy Healing Facebook group, Energy Healing Network. We have more than 500 energy practitioners and advocates in this active energy healing group. Members come from around the globe. If you're on Facebook, simply search for Energy Healing Network and join the community. In addition, I will have that linked in the show notes. Let's join Julia's presentation and experience the positive Seraphim Blueprint energies right now. Julia Forest-Payne, also known as Julie, she is an energy healer. She's in private practice. She is a certified Seraphim Blueprint teacher. She's a Reiki Master. She is a shamanic healer in a tradition that I can't pronounce, so we'll let that one go. Julie offers shamanic healing, chakra balancing, crystal healing, dowsing, and she works distant and she works in person. She does great work. Deborah Howard, who is a well-known practitioner in scents and oils, healing oils, she commented, "These Seraphim Blueprint sessions with Julie are profound. Every time I've immediately experienced a deep state of relaxation. I highly recommend the event." And that has been my experience as well. When Julie first started to learn this work, I had the experience with her. Matter of fact, we were in a coffee shop. There were some things that I had given to her, reasons I had to chat with her. She provided the work right there in the coffee shop. It really was amazing. So with that, Julie, I am going to turn the floor over to you. The floor, as they say, is yours.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that intro. I'm really grateful that you all are taking some time out of your Sunday evening to be here with me tonight. And the reason for that is that sometimes if you are lucky, maybe just once in a lifetime even, something comes along that changes your life for the better, so much so that you feel it's a duty, an honor, a privilege to share it with other people. And that's how I feel about Seraphim Blueprint. So from the list that Steve gave you, when I was in massage therapy school, I began to feel energies. It was Reiki for me that really opened the door. I joke, some people collect shoes. I collect energy modalities. And along about 2012, Tom Rigler invited me to a phone call event, a taste of the energies, very similar to what we're doing here tonight. I thought, I don't know, do I really need one more modality? Because I could spend a lifetime just trying to learn more about the ones that I already have begun. But I decided to participate, and that call changed my life, because I knew as the energies came through that not only was I meant to receive them, I was also meant to share them with other people. Now, Seraphim Blueprint is a healing modality. So those who are familiar with things like quantum touch or Reiki or a number of other modalities, you may already be a healer. You may never have pursued any healing modalities at all. And the great thing about Seraphim Blueprint is it meets everyone where they are, whether you are brand new and seeking a way to feel better for yourself, for your family, or for your pets, or whether you're a seasoned energy worker with already a toolkit full of tools. Seraphim Blueprint, I have found to be one of the things that I return to time and time again and use it every day on a daily basis. The way the classes are set up, you take the classes either in person or over the phone. There are 6 levels of classes, 6 different classes. But even after just the first class, you are certified as a Seraphim Blueprint practitioner. So you can take these energies and run with them. You can work on yourself. You can use them to heal family, friends, and pets. It works very well with other energies, as I mentioned. So if you already practice others, you can add this, and you'll find that there's a synchronicity and a synergy that occurs with other energies. It's one of the easiest ones that I've ever learned. Basically, the way you work with it is through intent, and by a simple command and statement, you can run the energies, either for yourself or for others. So Seraphim Blueprint is practiced around the world. It has really blossomed since a woman named Ruth Rendley founded it, channeled it, starting in the early 1990s. And now it is practiced, there are over 100 teachers in Japan, 66 in Turkey. And these numbers have probably gone up. These are from a couple of years ago. 2 in Thailand, 1 in England, 1 in Indonesia, 1 in the Philippines, 2 in Cyprus, France, and also teachers in Switzerland and Germany. So it truly has become an international modality. It's just something that's a lot of fun to practice and to share with others. To give you a little bit more information about Ruth, she did write a book called Seraphim Blueprint, The Power of Angel Healing, which if you're interested in learning more about how she created this system, you can buy that on Amazon. It's an interesting read. It tells about her journey as well as how she created Seraphim Blueprint. But it's not necessary. Some people pick it up and really are drawn to it. Some people feel the energy just from holding the book. Some people haven't read it at all. Either way is fine. It's a resource that's available. You might notice behind me in the background, there is a symbol, a pink background, and it was the one that Steve used in the promotional flyer about this event. And that is the seraph symbol that Ruth created using humble Microsoft Paint program on her computer. And if you go to her website, which is seraphimblueprint.com, there is a larger version that you can print out on your computer. And sometimes people are very drawn to the symbol, and this is because it does carry healing vibration and capacity all in and of itself. She has said that the symbol represents the sun, the moon, and a flower opening. That description really captures a lot of the essence of what I love so much about Seraphim Blueprint. Like all the modalities that I love, from Qigong healing and the Karo people that I have studied, through which I've become a Mesa carrier through the Shamanic Healing Institute in Annapolis. It's all about the uniting of heaven and earth, and we serve as the walking, living, breathing conduit between these two. I find very much this is also true of the Seraphim Blueprint energies. They bring down cosmic energies for our benefit, and we can also in turn use them to heal Mother Earth. It's very grounding, but it's also at the same time very high vibrational energy. So for those who like to play with energy work and like to have interesting experiences with that, it's a lot of fun. If you would choose to take a class, it's a series of attunements that you receive. So I like to tell people it's like sort of a day at the spa for those of us who like to play with energy. I just taught a class the other week, and so we put it on speaker. I'll probably be doing my next one on Zoom. and you simply sit back and receive the energies. And they work to give you a vibrational upgrade. And some of them are running in the background like a computer program, and others are what you call activatable. That, as I said before, with a simple intention and a statement, you can activate these energies and use them for hands-on healing. Energies can run through your hands. They can run distantly. Say you have a family member in California. Again, with a statement, you activate these energies and send healing to your loved one across the miles. One of the things I'd mentioned in the intro prior to the event was that we would be finding out who or what is a seraph. A seraph, if you're familiar with kind of the hierarchy of angels, there are archangels that many people are familiar with, like Archangel Michael, Gabriel, and so forth. There's any number of hierarchies that I don't have them all memorized, dominions, thrones, and so forth. The seraph is unique because the seraph is said to be beside the very throne of the Almighty, the highest of the high, a six-winged angel being of tremendous light and fire, very tall, 20 feet tall. And one of the teachers, Alex Brandon, has a very interesting program that he will sometimes present, all about iconography and history of the seraphim around the world. And he has some beautiful pictures to show that the seraphim have been depicted everywhere, in the Hagia Sophia in Turkey and around the world in sacred art. That's a very fascinating topic that he delves into. But having said that, of course, it's a non-denominational modality. No belief system is asked of you or required in any way, shape, or form. Going into this, I myself was never particularly really drawn to angels or angelic work, but I quickly found that the energy spoke for itself, and that has a way of making a believer out of a person. I think I've covered sort of the basics of the system. Steve, if you want to jump back on and ask me any questions that you may have.
Okay. And if those of you who are on the call, if you have anything that you would like to ask relative to what Julie has shared with us, I was remiss in not giving you Julie's contact information right up front. Her email address, you can email Julie with questions at JuliaPF. That's JuliaPF @gmail.com. A couple of questions, Julie. You'd mentioned that the Seraphim Blueprint is non-denominational. The symbol itself, is it drawn from any sacred source that you're aware of, or how did the symbol itself come into existence?
Right. Well, Ruth tells the story of creating that with Microsoft Paint on her computer. As I mentioned, it represents the sun, the moon, and a flower. So again, it's that uniting of heaven and earth. And the interesting thing about the symbol is I had one woman get in touch with me once, and I don't think she ever actually even took a class with me, but she was seeking some healing for her young son, about a 10-year-old boy who had broken his arm.
Ooh, Julie has dropped out. So while we're waiting to have Julie rejoin us.
Okay.
Yes, I can. Yes, you're back. Okay, I can take my dancing shoes off.
Sorry, Steve.
Okay.
I tell people, I often teach classes by phone and by computer, and I tell them, don't worry if one of us gets dropped. Sometimes that happens when you're working with energy and high vibrational energy at that. I didn't mention this to people, but I did start running some energies at the beginning of the class. So that could be it, or it could be a teenager upstairs accessing too much internet. Who knows?
Okay. So we need to dial that. We may need to dial that energy back, interfering here with, you were sharing that
right.
The creator used Microsoft Paint and created the image, but
right.
Is the symbolism, is it associated with any religion that we are familiar with?
Not to my knowledge. No, it's representational, as she had said about the sun and moon and earth. The thing of it is, everything that Ruth received about the system is channeled from the seraph. So this isn't coming from her. It's coming from this direct source. That is why the system, the symbol itself, carries with it healing energy, healing potential, and healing energy, which in the story that I was starting to tell about a woman who got in touch with me, her little boy had a broken arm, and she was very concerned in reaching out to healers that she was guided to online. She found me by the internet. In our conversation, I mentioned to her the symbol, that it has a healing capability and that she could try working with that. Of course, I would try and send some energy as well to him. The next day, she got in touch with me and she said that she had printed the symbol on a piece of paper, taken the piece of paper, put it on the boy's cast. Immediately, he stopped crying and was able to go to sleep for the rest of the night. That is an example of what the symbol can really resonate with people and bring a healing capability of its own, which is representative of the healing energies of the system.
Wow. Are there some other stories, some other clients that you could share, one or two, that had similar experiences with the work?
Yeah, I could. Our animal friends are very precious to us. And there was one client who got in touch with me. She wanted to take the class, and she was in Philadelphia, and I'm here in Ellicott City, Maryland. And we had started to make arrangements. And she mentioned something about her dog and that she would have to reschedule a class because her dog was having health issues. And she left it at that. And we hung up the phone, and then I got a very particular message, a little nudge. The seraph these energies are very good about guiding us to appropriate action. I got a nudge to call her up and say, is it okay if I send some energy to your dog? And it was. So I did. It was about 11 p.m. Used Seraphim Blueprint, sent energies to her dog, went to bed. Next morning, I get up and there's an email in my inbox at 6 a.m. And she said her dog had serious hip issues, was basically paralyzed, couldn't get up and walk. And so that was part of the reason she had to build her schedule around physically helping the dog, get its daily needs met and so forth. Well, she woke up that morning and her dog was standing next to her bedside, wagging his tail. She couldn't attribute it to anything else besides the Seraphim Blueprint energies the night before.
Wow. How do you think the energy is actually delivered? For example, with Reiki, we invite the energy down through us, through the hands. Quantum touch, it's from the earth and up through, and again through the hands into the field or into the physical body of the client that you're working with, or if you're working with a surrogate. Is this similar, or do we know? Do we have any clue?
Well, that's a good point, but I guess I could give you my best guess. I kind of envision it as a triangle between source of this energy, which I think of as the divine seraphic consciousness. It comes through me as I'm using it and directing my intention to, say, the dog. But you can also ask that it go directly through a channel from that consciousness to the person, the animal, the recipient. So to me, that makes kind of a meta triangle between me and those energies and the person or recipient. And otherwise, yeah, I suppose it's a bit of a mystery. But you can intend that it come through your hands and also directly to the person. So similar to Reiki, it's not my energy. It's source energy of a particular kind.
Right. Do you integrate Seraphim work in with Reiki, with your massage therapy, with shamanic work?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a connection that you can make? You can enhance Reiki, for example, or whatever modality you're using by inviting in the Seraphim energy.
Yes. And I do that quite a lot. Reiki was my first love. It was the one that opened all the doors for me. So I can use this energy, Seraphim Blueprint, to open a sort of a channel and send, for instance, the master symbol through it. And it enhances the power and the purity of everything you send through it.
If anyone has any questions that they would like to ask Julie, go ahead and put them in chat. And if not, what we're going to do is I'm going to go back on mute and I'm going to invite Julie, if you will be kind enough to actually share the energy with those on the call. Let us know what, if anything, we need to do on our side.
You don't need to do anything at all. I would just invite everyone to maybe take a deep breath and close your eyes and relax into wherever you're sitting or perhaps lying down. We're going to receive two energies with a break in between them. And the first energy is referred to as a life force energy. And so we're going to let this run. And I just invite you to notice what you notice. And we're going to begin this sample of this life force energy starting now. now that sample of the life force energy is coming to a close. And I just invite you to keep your eyes closed for a few moments longer and let the energy finish processing for you in your own time. So we'll pause for just a few seconds more, and then I'm going to go directly into the second energy. And after that, we can see what you might have experienced. So now this one is a different energy. It's referred to as the divine harmonizing energy. And again, just simply relax into where you are, follow the breath, and just notice what you notice. And there's no wrong way to experience this energy. So now the second energy is coming to a close, and take your time coming out of the experience. So Steve, while everyone else is processing, I might invite you to perhaps share what you experienced.
Very profound. The first energy created a vibration through my entire body. I went into observer mode from a mindful meditation point of view, not judging, just noticing. And it was very palpable. The second energy was just, I think it's well named, it was just a wholeness of, I felt just totally connected with all of the people on the call. That was my experience. If you would like to share, and I would encourage you to do that, please do so. If you're not going to share, if you would put yourself back on mute, and then I will just go down for those who are on the phone. I will check with you individually. For everyone else, just please go ahead and offer your comments. And a comment could be, it was profound, or the comment could be, I experienced nothing in particular. Either or it's somewhere in between. Any of that is fine. We just would like to have you share what you experienced and what you noticed. With that, let me unmute.
Hi, yes. This is Artemis.
Okay, what did you notice, Artemis?
So on the first energy, I too felt a vibration, and I just felt like these waves just coming over me and recirculating, and it just continued and vibrated and settled in. During the second one, this blinding bright light, although my eyes were closed, the light was so intense. I actually reached over and took a towel and covered my eyes, but the light continued to permeate, and it was electrifying. It was incredible to feel that warmth and that light surrounding me. So thank you, Julie, for this, and thank you, Steve, for hosting. This was amazing.
Thank you, Artemis.
Suzanne?
Well, I have to say that for the last several weeks, I've been having issues with allergies and a constant phlegm in my throat. And it feels as though that is much less than it has been. And it's been constant. I mean, all the time. But now it feels as though it is subsiding. So that to me is wonderful. Plus, I just feel incredibly relaxed. And for me, that's not always the case. So it really felt wonderful.
Good. Did you notice any distinction between the first energy and the second, or was it just overall felt good?
They were different. With my eyes closed, it was almost as though I was seeing into another dimension on the second. Not so much with the first, but with the second. I can't really tell you what I was seeing. It was just, there was a feeling of being somewhere else with the second. That was it.
Thank you, Suzanne. Amazing experience for sure. Tom.
Thanks, Steve. First energy came in, and it felt very direct and very immediate, and it was like, boom, let's get this done. This is something that needs to be worked on. I'm here to do it. Let's get it over with. And the second one kind of felt like a warm, comfy blanket and a pillow. Just a total difference in the energies. The first one was very immediate and direct, and the second one was just really comfortable and ugly feeling.
Excellent. Thank you, Tom.
And I should point out that Tom is an amazing Seraphim Blueprint teacher in his own right and has created his own system called Seraphic Light. And that's a point that I would like to make as well, that Seraphim Blueprint is a growing, evolving, blossoming healing system with a lot of different offshoots. So the people who practice it have brought forth other aspects of Seraphim Blueprint, distinct branches. So it's like branches of a tree, a big, beautiful, blossoming tree. And I love that about the system. It's growing and evolving just as we do. The system helps practitioners and recipients to grow and evolve. It grows through us as well.
Okay. Carrie, did I ask you yet or not?
Hi, sorry.
Hi.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
It felt very tingly, and I could just feel the energies. And the second one was very relaxing. I don't know. It felt very calming.
Okay.
Thank you, Carrie.
Carol, let me unmute you. What did you notice, if anything?
I did. There was a presence in the beginning, just a real peaceful, calming presence. And as the experience went on, I felt a gentle vibration that was rocking me and releasing the stress from the week. And I could just feel the stress and the trauma of the week just being shaken off, and this tremendous sense of relief. And then during the second one, it was just very peaceful, very gentle, very loving, very filling, just this really fulfilling thing where instead of feeling the release of the first one, this felt like it was filling me up and like it was renewed. It just kind of washed away all the stress of the week. The fatigue had left, and it's just feeling very serene now. And I didn't think I felt that stressed, but it was, I was really proud of myself. I thought I did well this week until this last part and feeling the complete serenity with it. So I really appreciate you two for doing this work for us today.
Okay. Thank you, Carol.
That reminds me of a point that I wanted to make too. Ruth has said that these energies have come forward at a time when Earth is super stressed in many ways, as we all have experienced. And so it's sort of a source of stress relief and replenishment, just as Carol talked about, at a time when we all need it the most.
Okay. Margie Ann, what did you experience?
Very interesting. Okay. In the last few days, I've been thinking about all the energy modalities that I know and what did I want to do with them. When Julie started the first one, it felt like something was showing me what I already believed, that they all are linked, and that I don't just use one or the other. There is always a part of each one, and it feels like those things like multiplied within me to put back out. And with the second one, I've been having an issue with my hip, especially on the left side. I felt a real sense of warmth go down through me. When it went through my hip, it feels like my hip loosened a bit, and it went down and through my feet. It's like from the top of my head down through my hip and then down to my feet. And it feels like my feet have gotten better a little bit. It feels like something loosened there that's been bothering me. So a great sense of a joining of many energies, making them stronger, not making them, no, they are stronger, and allowing them to go forth a lot more, as well as for myself.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Margie Ann. I think I have touched on everyone. If I have not, I'm going to unmute everyone again for a couple of seconds. If you have a question or you would like to share, if I haven't called on you and the list that I'm looking at keeps moving, so it's possible I may have missed someone. I don't think so, but if I did, and you would like to share, please let me know. So let me unmute everyone. And is there anyone who would like to offer a question or a comment, a sharing?
Hi.
Hi.
Okay.
Sorry. Sorry.
Wait a minute. Okay, let me see if I can. So the person that said, I'm sorry, we'll go with you first. Go ahead.
This is Artemis, and I just wanted to make just a quick comment. I didn't realize it when I was first speaking, and afterwards I sat up. I have a border collie that is on Mach 10 all the time. She's very high energy, lives with her ball and her squirrel, and is never still. When I sat up, she is stone cold out, dead asleep at my feet. So I just found that very interesting that it is even permeated over to her, and she's just laying here. So thank you again.
Very cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
And there was one other person. Who was that?
Yeah, hi, this is Loretta in South Jersey, number 6772.
Okay. Welcome all the way from South Jersey. All right.
Yeah, I experienced with the first energy, it just kind of wafted over me from my right side to my left side. And really, when it was done, it was like the feeling you would have after like a very lengthy meditation. So it was a wonderful feeling. On this design harmonizing energy, the second one, I felt energy it almost felt like a pulling, but not in an uncomfortable way, from the base of my spine down both of my legs and to my feet. And then towards the end of that energy, before, I'd say like in the last minute or so, I also felt a lot of energy in my hands and in my throat area. And the energy felt different. It was like, felt like a faster pace of an energy than the first one, but it was still very comfortable. And I'm still pretty much zoned out from both of them. So really a great experience. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. We clearly had some amazing experiences, and I want to thank everyone for sharing those experiences. Very, very amazing. Let's see, Wade. Sorry, not sure why you couldn't hear me. My crown chakra has been spinning since the beginning, but strengthening during the first energy. Second energy was deeply calming. Great. Thank you for sharing that, Wade. Excellent, excellent. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. All right. Let me unmute Julie. Julie, you also wanted to share, and I think you're in the process of making some changes around naming, but for right now, what's the best way for people to find you and to get in touch with you?
Right. So, if people are looking to get in touch, and I am going to be offering a class, a Seraphim Blueprint Level 1 class that we can do just the way we're doing this event tonight. And the best way to reach me is to email me at juliapf, as in Paris, France, @gmail.com. About I'm undergoing a name change. And so for now, if you find me as Julie Payne Funk and also Julia Forest-Payne, that's just to be clear, I'm the same person both ways.
Okay.
And again, just reach out to me by email, juliapf@gmail.com.
Okay. I encourage you to reach out to Julie if you are interested in learning this work. She's a marvelous teacher. She's a great practitioner, and she's truly an angel. I think she's exactly where she needs to be with the angel work, even though she initially wasn't called to the angel work, but I think it resonates with her.
There was one more component we were going to finish with.
Yes. I'm sorry. Absolutely.
Okay.
Go ahead, Julie.
That's okay. And as Steve mentioned, I did run this energy for him in the coffee shop when we met one time. And that's the gift that I would like to offer you all. And what it is a grid of energy. So it will be similar to the first energy that you felt. And so what I would invite everyone to do is think of a place in your home, perhaps the front door, where it can be sort of a clearing for everyone who comes and goes at your home. It could be your kitchen table or a place where you like to meditate. And what we're going to do is, with your intent and permission for me to do so, I'm going to send this energy to be a temporary, conditional grid of energy. So it will expire without you having to do anything within a week. You will not need to stay on the call while I do this, but just focus your intention for a few moments. You could set the timer for a minute. With that, the grids will begin to build, say in 10 seconds or so, while you get your picture in mind of where you would like it. And then you can drop off the call as you're ready or stick around to make comments. Okay, and so now we're going to make that connection to wherever you are envisioning this temporary conditional grid in your home. And this grid will begin to build now. And you can stay or go as you choose. Thank you so much for being with me tonight.
Thank you, Julie. Marvelous, marvelous presentation.
Pleasure. Thank you, Steve.
Marvelous by the testimony of everyone that was on the call.
And I encourage anyone who has a question to feel free to reach out to me at that email, juliapf@gmail.com. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, everyone. Again, I'm going to put everyone back on mute. And again, we are right at 8:02, which is a couple of minutes past the hour that we had allocated. Thanks to everyone who participated. And again, I'd encourage you to reach out to Julie. And if this work calls to you, I would reach out and learn more about it and explore how that could come to pass, or you could add it to your energy healing arsenal if you're already a practitioner in other modalities, or if this is your first. I can't think of a better first choice to open this marvelous world of healing energy. Thanks to all. And until we again meet, blessings, light, and much love.